Morning Discord, morning YouTube. Let's get into it. Okay, so let me make sure everything's working. Okay. Mic working. All right. So let's see what we got. Not a lot of movement in the after hours in the pre-market. We are bringing this magenta. So basically, Nvidia has earnings today at some point, maybe after the market closes, but Nvidia has earnings, so maybe the market wants to just go sideways until they figure out what the earnings is going to be. So maybe they want to push the price down because they might be expecting some good report. So push the price down to get even more winning. All right, let's let the early candles play out. Let's see what they're gonna do. We might not use this magenta. I'm here. I'm just being quiet. I'm letting the early candles play out. We're going to let a few cycles go by. Ignore these early algos. None of these have been tested, so ignore these for right now. I was gonna say, let's see if we get a strong green move, 2 red candles and some more green to push it up. Okay, I don't think we're gonna be able to use pre-market algos, so I'm gonna have to do it all organic. We're gonna have to do it all fresh. I don't believe these pre-market algos are. I don't think they're valid, so we're just gonna do it over. We're gonna start fresh. I might leave this purple though. We'll be fine. Just gonna take us a little bit of time. I don't think we can use the pre-market algo, so we're gonna have to do it organically. We might still use this purple though. Okay, look, that's what I told you. Look out for the strong green move, the 2 red candles, followed by some more green. And we do have the 5-day within range. Look, I told you, strong green move, 2 red candles, watch out for the next to be green. So start looking out for this pattern, right? You see the pattern I've been repeating for the past few days now? Start looking out for this pattern. Strong green, 2 red, and then a push up. Doesn't mean it's always gonna happen. But what I'm trying to show you is that maybe whenever you see this, you're not too timid in jumping in the trade. Because a lot of times, once it moves, we think, oh, it's too late now. Now I'm uncertain of what's gonna happen with the price. A lot of times we think because the initial move happened that we missed our entry. So let's say we wanted purple to be our entry. You know, sometimes we want to see the break and retest, and this is a perfect example of that. So it doesn't mean it's 100%. It just means that I've been showing you this pattern repeatedly, over and over and over. And I know maybe like twice where I said it, or no, once or twice I said it and it didn't happen, but I told you to watch out for it because it's a thing, right? So if it wants to continue up, let's look for 663 to be support. Now remember, the breathe, that's something I made up. That's something I made up in my own head. It's just a pattern that I recognized. So just remember that. That strong push, 2 red, it goes in the opposite direction too, right? Strong push down, 2 green, same thing in the opposite direction. So whenever you see this right here, it's a little dance. It's a little dance I'm talking about. All right, so let's see what they do at 663.45. Let's see if we get a weak bear cycle above to form our support, to give us our our continuation up. So we're gonna wait for all that to happen. If none of that happens, there's no trade. We're gonna protect our money today, because I'm sketchy with this Nvidia earnings, with the price action today. I'm sketchy, but I'm always overly cautious. So I think the people who are more risky are probably gonna be the people who are more where the stock market benefits, believe it or not. If you take more risk and you can hold, you're probably going to benefit more from the stock market. I want you to pay attention here, what your MACD looks like, what the candles are looking like. Like, have it in your mind right now. Does it look like that it's about to turn around on you? You need to, I want you to focus on this right now. Is it going to turn around, or is it going to continue going, right? I want you to see how much strength the orange line and the MACD actually carries, right? As long as you're above, the orange line has all that's like the current, right? And the blue line is like your swimmer. So the current has more strength. When they're going in the same direction, when the blue and the current going in the same direction, you're going to have more strength. When the when the blue and the orange are going opposite, that means you're going sideways. So remember that. Now look how far the legs are. Look how far the legs are. Look at the candles. Look what they're doing. I want you to get an understanding for how much strength is, when the legs are that far apart, right? Because even though it looked like it was about to close on you a couple seconds ago, it still gave you a couple dollars out of it, right? From the time I started talking to pay attention, which was right underneath 63.45, I want you to pay attention, because you're getting out of your trades too early because you see one red candle, and then that red candle turns out to be green in the long run, right? It'll push down, turn red, and then all of a sudden push back up and turn green, and you're moving your stops. So I want you to be comfortable with how much breathing or elasticity the price action has inside of a move, so you stop stopping yourself out for no reason. One red candle can't be the reason why you get stopped out. I mean, it's fine for now, but it can't be for a long time, right? It can't be one red candle that stops you out every time, and then you get upset and you get frustrated because the price goes without you, even though you were in the right position, right? You're in a call, you bought the call, it's going in your direction, and you stop yourself out because you see one red candle. You got to stop doing that. This is the time you need to take to pay attention to how the market breathes, how the price fluctuates within a movement, right? See, we identified the blue. So look how much movement is within the blue. You have to be okay with this amount of movement. Okay, exactly what we wanted to see, right? We wanted to see at this level, because we know there's liquidity built up here. Now we want to see, are they going to grab liquidity from this to continue down? Right? This will give us our shoulder, our head, and our other shoulder. All right, so let's see if they're going to start a liquidity box up here. We want to see if they're going to start a lick box up here. So this is going to be our first flexion point. So this flexion is going to tell us if we're going to do this. Watch. If we're going to do this, or if we're going to do this. So now we got to wait and see. All right, so let's be patient. It's about to get easier. I'm going to clean up the chart. I'm actually going to step away for a second, okay? Just give me 1 second, I'll be right back. Don't overtrade. Here was our, it was tough to see. Here was our break, retest, and the reject right here. The break of 63.45, the retest, and the reject. Protect your trade. Protect your trade. Now remember, I don't know when it's gonna break, retest, and reject. I just know what it needs to look like. Break, retest, reject. So when I'm saying I don't know when, I have to draw the path exaggerated so you see what I'm talking about. But it doesn't change what the message I'm trying to get across, right? It's a break of the level, a retest of the level, and a rejection of the level. So if you zoom in, we broke the level, we retested the level, we rejected off the level. Now I want you to ask yourself how many times you would have stopped yourself out in this move. How many times did you have stopped yourself out? This is what you need to start refining. We know our entries. The issue is where you're stopping yourself out. You're not allowing the market, you're not allowing it to breathe inside of our guardrails. You got to let it breathe a little bit. Sorry. Look at this move. All right, don't overstay your welcome now. Start tightening your stops. They got a little bit more room to go. Let's see if they touch 65.13. So the reason why you see me keep moving the head is because we're going level by level. That's why. We go level by level. Let's see if we're gonna hit the 5. All right, we're gonna look for puts under here. Oh my goodness, look at this move. Look at this move. Okay, I've done my job today. Break retest of 63.45. Let's see. Oh, what? 63.45 to 65.87. That's 2 full points pretty. Oh my goodness. Okay, done my job today. That's what I was trying to tell you. Stop stopping yourself out. You're not going to be late. You're not going to be late. One red candle doesn't mean you're late. You need to pay attention to your exits and monitor to how they react. You need to start paying attention because you keep stopping yourself out for no reason. When actually you have every other reason to not stop yourself out, and oftentimes, meaning your trade's winning, meaning you're above the water, you never went below the water, right? Meaning you never broke the guardrail, but you're still letting one candle stop you. So eventually you're gonna get tired of it, and you're gonna start to let your winners win. It just takes time. Eventually you're gonna get tired of that. Look at the money we printed first thing in the morning. When was it? 20 minutes into the session. That's all we needed, 20 minutes. Amazing. Ask yourself right now, the legs still haven't closed yet, the 5's right there. Make a bet. Is it gonna hit the 5 or not? Ask yourself right now, make a bet, do a paper trade. See if you were to go in right now, if it would still hit the 5. That's what you need to ask yourself. But paper trade it. Don't, I'm not saying to use real money. I want you to understand how the market breathes. See, look, you thought it was too late when I said it, right? Yeah, I said it right now. Even if you were to go right now, this was at the 10:01 candle. Even though you look how close, you know it's going to hit the 5, or you have a very high likelihood it's going to hit the 5. And look, if you were to go in 2 minutes ago, you'd be like, well, I'm too late, right? And look, and it still had a little bit more. You still could have been profitable. You still could have made it to the 5. We don't know, but it's about probabilities. And even though I said it here and showed you where the 5 is, everyone's still afraid to jump in. And I get it. I get it. It takes time. So the reason why you don't want to have a bias is because before you count out this play, certain things need to happen, right? We need a couple if-then statements. First of all, we need to break the blue. We have to break outside the blue first. Once we break outside the blue, then we'll know if we're gonna have the option of a weak bear, right? So that has to happen first. Until we break blue, we're still in blue. So stop having a bias. Remember I told you at the 10:01 candle, even though the 5 is up here, you probably think it's too late to go in, and you would have made money. And you would have made money. Because you always think it's too late, and then you hesitate, and then you get mad at yourself, and it's a vicious cycle. It's a vicious cycle. It's because you don't have any rules. Like, you know what the rules are, but when it comes time to bust that wallet open, everything changes. All your rules that you have for yourself change. So you got to be consistent with your rules. You just got to be. This is a business and you have to treat it like that. If you keep going off of vibes and you don't stick to your business plan, then you don't have a business plan. Remember how close the legs were at 10:01? Remember how close they were? Look how much different it looks now. Look at it. I told you at 10:01 you could have went in at 10:01. You know, I issued the challenge. You still think it's too late, even though the 5 is right there. You see what I'm saying? You still think it's too late. You knew exactly where the 5 is. You knew we broke key level. So this is the fear that grips us. And if you would have went in then, that was 65, 66. This is a 30 cents right here. Because you're afraid you went in too late. Look, I called it out. I said challenge yourself. Do a paper trade, whatever. But we know, you know, we have it's a very high likelihood that we're gonna hit the 5. Very high likelihood. Oh, ooh wee. Yeah, perfect rejection off this magenta. Good call, OG. Perfect rejection off this magenta here. Really good job, OG, catching that. And that's why we got off the 5. There it is. Look, we're still in the blue. Remember when I issued the challenge that you think that you're too late on a play? That was way over here. That was at 65.61. It's at 66.33 now. I issued the challenge, you think you're too late. Way over here. You always think you're too late because it didn't get filled at the exact penny that you wanted it to, and then now you think that your trade's all messed up. I think I want to use this purple again. We'll use the purple. I like the purple. So now once we break blue, then we're gonna reassess and see what's up. But blue's still working for us, right? Blue's still putting in all the work. All right, so your safety puts are still gonna be underneath red. 63.45. We have to break through this liquidity box here before puts. We got to break this before puts. If we get down here, we have to get underneath this. Minimum. So we're not trying to call the top here, right? We don't want to call the top. Now we're going to wait for our setup. Okay. Well, that was quick. Okay, protect the trade, I guess. I didn't expect that. That would have been hard to catch. You gotta protect the trade. I guess. I mean, that happened too quick. So that happened quicker than I expected. Technically I should adjust the blue, but I'm not going to. The blue is where it needs to be. To make it look pretty, I should move it over a little bit, but that would be too self-serving. So any calls we want to look for, a break, retest, reject of the 5, right? We have to be above the 5. So let's wait for this purple to form above the 5. That's what we have to do. So whenever that happens, we're going to wait for it. Otherwise, we're just still in this uptrend. So look, if you remember that little experiment at 10:01, at the time the 5 was pretty much at this level here. But look, the price hit the 5. Well, at the time, whatever it would have been. And I was telling you, here's the challenge. Here's the challenge. You think you're too late. You know damn well that it's going to hit the 5. And you still think you're too late. That's the fear. That's the fear consuming you, even cognitive dissonance. Even though you know exactly what's going to happen, you're still doing the opposite thing. Right? Because you see the red candle. Because you know that your stops are too tight, because you're not willing to take any type of loss. You're afraid to take a trade because you know your stops are tight and you keep getting stopped out. That's why. That's probably the best way to go about it, honestly. I know it's counterintuitive, but that's probably the best way to go about it. Because look, even though at 10:01 I told you it's gonna hit the 5, we know it's gonna hit the 5. Here's an experiment. I told you to paper trade it, but we knew it was gonna happen, right? Here's our weak bear cycle. Here's our weak bear, right to the 5, exactly as we knew it would happen. So now the liquidity is here. Now all the orders are going to be triggered, right? Now we need to see which direction who's going to win. When they get to the 5, there's either going to be more put orders or more call orders. And then once that happens, it's going to get shaky over here, right? It's going to start to get shaky because the market's going to have to settle out the orders and figure out who wins, right? So let's say someone wants 5 puts, someone else wants 2 calls, then the puts are gonna win, right? So now we just need to wait for that to happen. I said it at 10:01 that even though we know it's gonna go to the 5, here's an experiment. Here's the experiment. It just played out. Now you know. Now you know. Stop being afraid that you're too late on a play. Okay, here's a good okay, let's see what they do here, right? We know where the target was, so if you didn't take money by now, then I don't know what's wrong with you, but you should have been trailing your stops. Anyways, ideally we like to see, and I've been posting the patterns and the images so you all can see what I'm talking about, but ideally we like to see, you know, a move like this, right? We like to see the movement like this. So when we want to see a break and retest, we want to see a break, and then let's say a retest, and then a reject. Let's say we want to see something like this. Ideally we like the full movement, right? However, you can see that on this break and retest here, it was literally just a candle. Break, retest, reject. It was just candles. It wasn't the full movement. So we don't know. Ideally, we like the full movement, right? A break, a retest, and a reject. But on this one, it was just the candle. We don't know when that's going to happen. There's nothing we can do about that. So now we want to see if we're going to form the head here. Are they going to grab liquidity off the 5? All right, look. So here's what we're up against now, right? We need to know if we're going to start forming a lick box in here like this. So we don't want to get caught in between here. So your best bet from here is going to be a break, retest, and reject, or a break, retest, reject. From this point here, this is what it is. So allow this liquidity to break. Minimum. If you didn't take any trades, good, because you only had one entry here. There's really only one entry. Well, for us, you could have went in over here too. When I said the actually, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. About 10 minutes in, I said to watch out for strong green move, 2 red candles, and then the green push up. So, man, I don't know if I should count that one. I'm not gonna count that one. I will count this one though, because I did draw this one out. So look, before we count out this area, we need to clear it. So we're in here. We need to figure out which way the market wants to go. We'll know when they break, retest, and reject either the 5, or we get underneath break, retest, reject 65.13. That's the answer. That is the answer. Now, you know, we're in a really strong uptrend, so do you really want to fight the trend? Probably not. But I wouldn't be surprised if they just, you know, keep us caught in a range, or from this point on, some type of annoying trickle in a direction, because Nvidia has earnings today. I wouldn't be surprised if this was the move, and then it's going to be annoying from here. But I tried my darndest to give you guys some insight as far as here, right? 2 red, all the rest green. As far as the break and retest here, as far as the challenge I issued here, meaning that at 10:01 that we're going to the 5. So, you know, we had a couple opportunities to get in here, and we got to be happy with that. We got to be happy with that. Now, trying to call the top here, that's kind of crazy. All right, DC, don't overstay your welcome now. If you're green, there's nothing wrong with calling it a day. Putting in an hour of work and just calling it a day. There's nothing wrong with that. Yesterday you had 100 and something %. Today's 200%. You know, I think you did pretty good. I think you did pretty good, DC. I don't, you know, don't over. You know, I'm not gonna tell you what to do, man, but you know, the market doesn't give us 200% often, so we got to take that and run with it. Just, I mean, if I were you, I'd call it, but it's up to you, man. And DC, I'm talking to you specifically. All right, good job. I'm talking to you specifically. Regarding the questions you had for me, this is why it's hard for me to answer that question. It's completely contingent upon you, right? So is it possible? Oh yeah, hell yeah, it's possible, but it's all contingent upon you. That's why it's hard for me to give certain answers. I know what the truth is, but it would be a biased opinion. Okay, let's be patient here. Let's let the market settle this out. They're going to figure out who wants to win here, right? So I told you what's going to happen. We're going to touch the 5. Now the market, there's a whole bunch of orders here, right? So the market now needs to figure out, okay, do I have more put orders or more call orders? If I have more put orders, that means I need to go lower to fill the orders, right? If I have more call orders, that means I need to go higher to fill the orders. So now we're going to see who wins. So you don't need to front run it. You don't even need to, there's no reason to even have a bias. Like, oh, I think these people are going to win. Why? This is a fool's errand to try to guess who has more orders at the 5, right? That's kind of silly. It's silly to even try to guess. Why don't you just wait for the market to tell you? How will you know? When we break, retest, and reject the 5. That's how you know. So it's very simple. You don't have to complicate this stuff. We try to add too many variables to make ourselves seem more informed and more intelligent, when the truth is all those variables are just adding noise and confusion. We don't need to confuse this. Listen, we're not going to get it right every time. That's not a thing. There is no trader in the world that gets it right every time, and that is true for me as well. But at least we have some some numbers, some data and statistics on our side to give us some comfort to know that we're doing the right thing. And we don't have to win every time. We just want to win the war. So let's be patient here. We see the liquidity, right? I already drew it out. I drew it out. Everything's drawn out. You know exactly what's going to happen. How you play it, that's where you need to refine your skill. And you don't have to do it with real money. You can get all this paper trading. So let's see if we get a little micro. Let's see if we get a little micro here, okay? So we're looking out for it, right? We always got to be aware of what's next. What could be next? So we're not caught off guard, left holding the bag. We can adjust. So always know what's next. Always know what to look out for. We always have to know what our setups are, what our signals are, right? If we're stuck in here, we know we're in chop. There's no trade. We want to wait for a shoulder. Okay, I'm gonna walk around, circulate some blood. I suggest you do the same. I'll be right back. Don't overtrade. Really quick, because I talk too much. Remember, every lick box is a flexion point. So we need to figure out, is this flexion point gonna be the head? Right? Or is it gonna be, watch, hold on. Or is it going to be the liquidity we need to push up, right? So this is what we're contending with. Now you know. Look, we identified the chop, we identified the lick box way ahead of time. Now you don't have to worry. Now it's stress-free, okay? One of these two things is going to happen. We see the liquidity box. I drew it out. Damn it. I can redraw it if I need to, but you know, I'm freehanding this stuff, so it's not going to be that perfect. But now just be patient. Wait for your setup. We know we need this liquidity to clear. We have to get it to clear. Now, if you're in here trading and you think, you know, you have a hunch or something, that's on you. But we need the liquidity to clear. You want to break, retest, and reject underneath this liquidity. Or you want to break, retest, and reject above this liquidity, which would be above the 5. So this is the answer. This is how it works. And look, check it out. If none of that happens, then guess what? You're fine, because that means you didn't get caught in the chop. Now, on your, hold on, I gotta clean this chart up. Give me a second. It should be green for our down. I would feel more comfortable with this one down here. All right, so let's see if it's going to be build in yellow and break purple. All right, it's about to get way easier now. Damn, I just realized this purple is going to be sketchy because it's right at the 5. All right, yeah, you got to measure risk or reward here. So this purple's at the 5. This is sketchy. Like buying a call at the top, that's... Look, just because it's break a purple, it has to make sense. Okay? And at this point, sure, it could happen, but I'd feel a lot more comfortable with a break, retest, and reject. That's just what it is. So honestly, look, our move was here. We had our good move. Now, you know, again in sketchy territory, we had our move. If you want to sit here and trade all day, okay, I'll chart. But I think I might take my money for the day. Remember, so in this lick box, let's see if we get some type of... See if we get some type of that, right? And just because I drew that doesn't mean that it's gonna happen. It just means we're looking for that because that's gonna give us our setup, right? That's what that means. We want to see that because we want to see where the setup is. Not that that's going to happen. I'd like to bring your attention really quick to the 5-minute chart. Just like on the 5-minute, how the price got pushed down and then look, it wicked on our magenta and then pushed the price up. So the reason why I'm saying that is because if the magentas are liquidity and it grabbed liquidity from the bottom and pushed up, then that could be the same thing here, right? We could be grabbing liquidity before the push up. So that's why we need confirmations. What's our confirmation? A break, a retest, and a reject. Now, if it breaks green and shoots down, you know, that's a possibility too. But you're high above the water, so you don't really want to try to call the top now. If you are going to try to buy puts, you got to scalp this. You got to chase it. Looks like they want to do the dance right here for the down. Now remember, this could still be our weak bear cycle, right? We could be doing this, our weak bear cycle before the push up. You see why I told you to wait for the confirmation? Just as I said over here, we could be pushing down for the liquidity grab in the wick before the push up. You could be pushing down for the liquidity grab. So you gotta wait for your break and retest reject. That's gonna be your best bet. Again, this looks like they want to do the dance for the down. How far? I don't know. We're about to see. I just put this line here because I want to see what happens on this white line 65, 69. I want to see if there's an order block here and if it dumps from here. Because this might be our 50-50 right here. But look, we already expected this, right? We don't know who's going to win. Are there more calls or puts here? The market is settling out the orders now. So now we need to figure it out. We'll figure it out once they do either this or this. All right, look, if you took the break of this green on secondary liquidity, you got to chase this because you're fighting the trend. Now, if it dumps from here, great, but you got to chase it because you're fighting the trend. Meaning, don't let it go against you. There's no reason to let this go against you because we don't want to fight the trend too much, right? You got to protect this trade. If you took break of green, you have to protect the trade now. Your trade's protected. So you can't lose from here. Okay, on the break of this 65.69, we went below the water. All right, so let's see what we got here, because now we know this is another area of liquidity right here. So you should be moving your stops level by level, right? Level by level. And we're still in this yellow selling channel. So on the break of this green, we're still in this yellow selling channel. All right, so let's see if they want to do this right here, or if they want to do this right here. Or wait, let's see if they reject underneath purple. So remember, we want to see if they're gonna break, retest, and reject the lick box. So it might get a little sketchy in here. Okay, on the break, retest, and reject of the lick box, you got to protect your trade now, right? You got to protect your trade. So if you took green, your trade's protected. If you wait for the break, retest, and reject, your trade's protected as well. You can't lose from here. If you're interested in learning how to trade with us, send me an email, LiveSPYTrading@gmail.com. I'll get you sorted out. Look at the money we just printed. Look at the money we just printed. Good job. Good job today. Excellent job. Look at the money we just printed on the break, retest, reject. Absolute perfection. Watch. I'm going to draw it again. Absolute perfection. We had a break, a retest, and a reject of the liquidity box exactly to the penny. Exactly to the penny. We're still inside yellow. Absolutely perfect. I told you what to watch out since here. We knew on the break of green. And if green wasn't good enough for you, then you had the retest and reject of 65.69 for the win. Look at the money we just printed. We just had to be, look at the money we print. Come on now. There it is. Here, you want to see something about confluence? Watch this. Watch this. On the break of green, the secondary liquidity green that I have right here, look what we have below the water. That's confluence. Look at the money we printed. Oh man, it's been a good day. It's been a good day. Okay, let's see what we can get out of it. Don't overstay your welcome. Start trailing your stops now. Start moving your stops. Don't stop yourself out. What I'm saying is adjust. It's actually too, look, the only entry we had for calls was on the break of purple. Right? Our put entries were under green, on the break and retest of 65.69. So we had two entries for our puts here. Our call entries were on the break of purple, right? Remember, it's going to be build in yellow, break of purple, right? And there's still going to be people who are sitting on YouTube that refuse to send an email. It's incredible. They'd rather try to risk it for the biscuit on YouTube instead of joining the Discord, which is free for a session. Look at the money we just printed. You know what? It's okay. This ain't for everybody. This ain't for everybody. Look at the money. Oh man, I wasn't really feeling well today. I'm still not feeling that well, but I feel better now. By the way, DC, break at yellow is not a thing. I don't know if you mistyped, but just to be clear for everybody. Look at the money we just printed. YouTube, I'm doing this live, right in front of your face. If you have no idea what's going on, you have to join the Discord. Send me an email, LiveSPYTrading@gmail.com. We are winning. I'm going to give you a recap of our wins today. This one right here was a verbal call out. This was verbal. So we don't even have to add, we don't have to count that one. However, we will count this call here on the break, retest, reject of 63.45. We rode that all the way to the 5 as expected. And then we had our below our green right here. And then we had another one on the break and retest here for puts. 100% today. 100%. Look at the money we just... Okay. I don't need to say anything. The results speak for itself. Look at the money we just printed. There it is. Okay, feel better now. Jeez. Okay, start moving your stops now. Start adjusting your stops. Don't give up any money. Give it a, you know, every 2 or 3 minutes, you know, chase the candle a little bit. Expect the dance right here. Expect the dance on red. Red probably needs to be here. So be careful in here. Did you think you were too late on the play? How long have you been thinking, oh, I'm too late on this play? How long? How long? This was the initial red, so this one should have a lot of liquidity. So let's see if we get a bounce here. I like to see a little tiny pullback at least. Okay, let's see what we got. Okay. Okay, don't overstay your welcome now. Now don't overstay your welcome. Whew, this was an exciting move. Let's see what they got for us. Let's see if the runners are gonna still keep printing. This was a great move. All right, let's see if we can survive a little bit of the turbulence here, right? We knew there's gonna be turbulence in here. Let's see if we can survive. This isn't a call yet. Just be patient. This is just key level. I'm just showing the the range here. Let me just do that. This is just showing the range. Looks like they want to form the dance to the down. Let's wait a second and see if they break red. Okay, see how we survived? See how we survived? All we had to do was survive. There we go. Now we're printing money. Now we're underneath red. Look at the win. Oh my goodness. Look at the money we just printed. I told, let's hold, right? Now I said, let's hold. Together, we did it together. We did it together. I got stopped out on this one for half my contracts, and then I let my runners run. There we go. Okay, let's see what else we got here now. There, we did that. We did this together. I told you. Now we need to hold, right? We need to just hold a little bit and see if we can survive. Here's the survival. That's all we needed to do. I'm walking through it with you. We're doing it together. We're doing all this together. You're not alone here. I circled it and told you they're going to do the dance to the downside, right? Now we're on thick liquidity. Now we gotta, okay. So now you need to monitor your stops here. See, now we're on thick green. So let's see what we got here. I'm gonna adjust it just a little bit. Okay, level by level. Let's see what we got now. This candle took me out, so we'll see if I get back in on the break of this green. This candle just took me out. All my contracts. That was a great move, right? From somewhere up here to this. The runners took me out here. My first set took me out here. So now let's see what we got. I think that was a great move. This is a great move. Okay, so like I said, this green candle stopped me out from my runners, which I'm glad I held. I'm glad I held through that because I feel like I was able to get, you know, a little bit more out of it. So I was happy for that. Not too much more, but I'm going to take a walk around so I can circulate some blood. Don't overtrade. I'll be right back. We had a pretty good day today so far. I mean, we'll do a recap really quick. Real quick recap. We had our first entry. This is a verbal call out, so we're not going to count this one. We had our second win right here for calls. We had our puts on green right here for puts. We had another put here on the break and retest. We had another put here on the break of green, another put here on the break of green, another put here on red. So we've had a pretty good day. If you're interested in learning how to trade with us, send me an email, LiveSPYTrading@gmail.com. I'll get you sorted out. I will get you sorted out. So look, we're still in this yellow. All right, I'm gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna walk around a bit, let the price figure out what it's gonna do, and I'll be right back. Don't overtrade. Okay, let's see if they want to close the cut. Don't fall for the wick. Careful on the wick. See how it's wicking? Don't let him reject and fall for the wick here. Just wait for it to be clear. I'm here. I'm just being quiet, letting the price action settle out and figure out what they want to do. They're building liquidity up for the next move. This liquidity building up for the next move. Fake that on the break of this green. Now we got to see if they get above this lick box or if they go below. We're at the mercy of the lick box now. Let's look to see if we get above, if we break this yellow and the green, like that. Or it's gonna do this. So our 50-50 is going to be up here. Yeah, that was a good decision, DJ, because looks like they're running out of steam. So they need to build up liquidity in this lick box before they're going to make a move. Yeah, they got to build it back up. Now we need to build up strength. So we'll see what's going to happen. Okay. There we go. A little bit more. We need to get below this dotted line. We need to get below this dotted line right here. I'd like to break this secondary liquidity with a close. It keeps wicking on the dotted line. We need to close below the dotted line. Okay. Okay. Okay, here we go. Let's analyze this trade. If you took the red, right? So here's the red ranger. If you took the red, you place your stop above the last high, this is a win. If you took green and you place your stop above the last high, also a win. There goes the money. Look, the entry on green. Well, actually, the entry on red. Entry on red for puts, winner. Entry on green for puts, winner. I've done my job today. I've done my job. Okay, I'm gonna give another few minutes here and then I'm gonna call it for the day. So let's see what we got. All right, let's do a quick recap of our wins from the day. Today was an absolutely phenomenal day. Once again, we had a call entry here for a win. We had a call entry here for a win. We had a put entry here for a win. We had a put entry here for a win. And then along all the greens. We had a put entry on this red for the win. And then on this green as well, the stick green for the win. So we had a pretty good day today. If you're interested in learning how to trade with us, send me an email, LiveSPYTrading@gmail.com. I'll get you sorted out. So we have all the liquidity built up in yellow. Let me look, we're in yellow until we're not. We're in yellow until we're not. All right, if you took the trade under the lick box, protect your trade, right? This is a winner. Look at the money we printed today. Today was a crazy day. Today was a great day. And this is how we make this sustainable, safe day trading. YouTube says unreliable claims. Okay, at what percentage rate is it reliable, right? We're at 100. If that's not good enough for a reliable claim, I don't know what is. But I'm going to get out of here soon. So YouTube, send me an email. It's free to try. You lose nothing. You're only going to gain. Trust me. You're only going to gain. And even if you don't trust me, you got nothing to lose. It's free. Send me an email, LiveSPYTrading@gmail.com. I will get you sorted out. If day trading is the thing you want to make a thing for yourself, and you're on this journey by yourself, you don't have to. You don't have to be alone. We have some great traders in the Discord that are racking up. The Discord did numbers today. The Discord did numbers. I will say that. I did my job. But again, today was, all the algorithms were really respected. We got lucky today. Yesterday, same thing. Yesterday was a really technical perfection day. We're coming up to secondary liquidity on the 5. Let's see. 60.82. Yeah, so we're coming up to that secondary liquidity somewhere on this key level right here. So we know there's going to be a dance right here. Okay, I'm gonna do some admin. I'll be right back. I gotta use the charts. Give me a second. Okay, YouTube, that's been my time. Discord, it's been a pleasure as usual. We're gonna do it again tomorrow. If you guys have anything for me, send me a DM. But from here on, we had a good day. Just either paper trade or just stop. We had a great day. There's no reason to gamble any money. We did our work today. If you absolutely need to, I have the setup on the 5-minute chart. If you're on YouTube, you need the 5-minute chart to trade. Send me an email, LiveSPYTrading@gmail.com, to get you sorted. So you see this 660.95, which coincides with this 6. Basically, we're in the same range, right? For this pullback here. So we already expected this. You know what your ranges are, right? So if we get above this, look for calls. Look for this if we get above. Okay, there's your setups for the day. For the rest of the day, that's it. If it doesn't do that, then there's no setup. So we want to look for purple, and we want to look for yellow. So build in yellow, break purple. But yellow has a lot of liquidity, so this actually might be a macro. This yellow might be a macro. It's hard to tell. So on our trading, let me look at the trading plan. I'm pretty sure I accounted for this on the trading plan. Okay, yeah, so if you look in the trading plan under wedge, we kind of prepared for this. Oh, a little more wedgier than we expected, to be honest. But that's what we got for today. So YouTube, send me an email, LiveSPYTrading@gmail.com. Get you sorted out. Discord, it's been a pleasure. Send me a DM if you need anything. I'll be around. Have a good day. Goodbye.